Brunner.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Gary.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are with Brunner's Lawn and Services. And today we got your Brunner's Bits. And today, Andy, we are going to talk about culture. So, welcome to Brunner's Lawn and Services, where culture is not just a buzzword. It is where we harness the unique power of our team to drive our success. Culture's not a thing. It's living, it's breathing entity at our company. It guides our every action.
Evolving.
It's constantly evolving. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our company culture at Brunner's and why it's important for every company. Right?
Yep.
Are you good with that, Andy?
I think so.
Hey, do you think they're good with that?
I don't know. Are you good with that?
Are you good with that, Anthony?
I called you Jonathan a minute ago. I'm sorry.
You did call him Jonathan, and that was bull crap.
I
was like, who is this guy talking
no,
about?
no, I'm sorry. It was.
So I got to give some props real quick. I'm going to give a shout out to Anthony Benincasa with Ship Lobby Studios. He is the one that produces all of this, lets us use his space, tells me when I'm wrong.
He didn't correct me when I called him Jonathan a minute ago. Well, he should have thrown something at me.
I didn't catch it.
I do apologize.
It didn't seem important.
At the time, it did not matter.
I was thinking a turf surge in the back of my head about something else, and his name's Jonathan. And I just went, Brr.
All right. So the first topic for culture. Yeah, I cut you off.
That's fine.
I'm used to it. That's what I cut.
I'm used to
you
it.
off. So folks, I think it's important to start off with culture is really important for every company, and it has been at our company, and the innovation and creativity of like the overall product and operation of everything. Andy, you probably remember the days when Josh was a pushover and what Gary said went, and pushback was always a fight.
Oh, yeah.
We had trouble keeping people.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm just going to throw it out there. I was an absolute tyrant. I was a failure. I was wrong. I was learning.
Yelled a lot. Yep. And then Mr. Larry had to separate you two a couple times.
Lots of times. The moral of that story of this is, as the CEO or the one in charge of everything, that doesn't necessarily mean that my ideas or your ideas, if you're the CEO, are always the right ideas.
What's the saying? There's more than one way to skin a cat.
There is, and it's important at a company with multiple team members that you create a culture that allows every voice to be heard.
Right, so they're not scared to speak up and say, hey, I think we can get this done faster this way, or X, Y, and Z needs to be done ZYX. You know, it's not necessary. I tell all the new guys I get that I work with, like, hey, this is just how I've done it. If you think you can spread mulch faster with your face, I'm fine with that. It doesn't sound comfortable to me, but if the end result is a pretty lawn that the customer's happy with, go for it.
Yeah, your team has ideas.
Right.
Their ideas matter. Part of that. So, for instance, Matt, one of our production managers, he's also been our safety guy for years, for a couple years. For years, not for like 2 years. But anyways, this past winter, we trying to hash out the growth chart, training,
everything else, yeah.
all of that, like we do every year.
Reinvent the wheel. It's wintertime. We have time to think.
And I sat down and was like, Matt, so why are we doing this again? Like, I'm done doing this. Mm-hmm. What am I doing wrong? And the first thing he said is, it's redundant. Mm-hmm. We have all of these word salads.
Yeah. I like word salads.
I like that a lot.
Word salads is good.
We have this 60-something page word salad that says the same thing that can be gotten across in like 10, 12, 20 pages. Is Andy hungry?
Yes, I'm a little hungry. My tummy is yelling at me.
But Matt is like, so we got groundskeeper 1, groundskeeper 2, groundskeeper 3, and the beginning of every single task is the same thing. So let's cut it down. Let's make it to where one packet for groundskeeper that has different checkoffs to get through it. Let's create a leader, which I have not done yet. That's this winter's project because we did so good on the groundskeeper. I didn't want to rush on the leader. I want to do it right.
Well, that's, and like I said, it's evolving and it never ends.
But all of this has come from listening to our team. I mean, 2 years ago, Tyler came to me and said, hey, I found this. And he showed me a text or sent me a text of a job description. Mm-hmm. He goes, this right here caught my eye, Uncle Gary.
Yeah.
I incorporated it into our job description.
It's nice to know he's actually thinking about it. I mean, I know, you can't help but think about work outside of work sometimes, but he enjoys it. And it was good thoughts that are moving in a forward direction, not, I got to go to work.
But that comes from the culture, though, because if you like where you work and you want to make it better, you're constantly thinking of ways and ideas to be creative and innovative. And as owners of a company, we have to foster that.
Right.
And I think anybody out there, if you're trying to figure out how to set your company apart from another company, create a culture at your company to where people feel free to be creative and innovative. It's crazy important.
Well, one of the things I think that really helped, it helps in multiple ways, is we started stretching in the morning, doing morning PT, whatever, and it gives them that first thing in the morning before all the trucks run out. It gives 15 minutes of yuck it up time where everybody's joking and
and I have to catch
fun of each other, and
I have to catch myself because I want to be a tyrant, because sometimes I see people that aren't doing it and this and that, and I'm like, hold on a second, no, that's what this is for. Right. This is that moment that they get to be with each other. Some people,
and you never know, like people like Jacob, whose back's messed up, he may skip out on a certain stretch because that's not happening today, boss.
Well, I get in the team's way sometimes, and it's, at least I recognize it.
You're getting much better.
I'm getting much better at recognizing it. Not better at getting out of their way, but better at recognizing it.
Oh shit! Hold on. Oh.
Yeah, right.
I said bad word.
You didn't say the beep word, though. There's a couple beep words. Shit is not on there.
I know. I've been doing good.
You have not said a
naughty
F-bomb, a naughty word.
Just let me know. We'll remove it.
If I say anything bad, just edit a tree over my mouth or something like that. Beep. Pine tree.
You're
I mean, an emoji? I don't
Consider it done.
Consider it done. Ding, 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 ding. It's time for the customer service corner.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Today's an interesting one. Today might actually be, this customer service corner might be longer than the rest of the whole video. Because, folks, today we are going to talk to you about how we have handled weird, irate, and disturbing residents and clients. Mm-hmm. Folks, when you take care of homeowners associations,
retirement communities, a lot of things,
and then back in the day, residences.
Oh yeah,
you see some weird stuff.
Yep,
you get offered some weird things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give a scenario, and I'm going to ask Andy how we handled it. Remember the property that we took care of over, I think it's by Meyer, and they had one board president who loved us,
mm-hmm.
and then they switched to another board president who thought that she knew everything about landscaping. You know, the hill, Meyer, 741.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm thinking I live over closer to Meyer and Kettering. I'm like, I don't have one.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about this irate client that we went from a board president that said that we were the best company that they'd had in years to another board president within a month. We did not change our service was the same to we were the worst customer
mm-hmm.
that we've ever had. And I'll tell you how I handled it. I told her to go pound salt.
That was a bad day. Yeah,
well,
we do our best to just make the situation as easy and safe for everyone involved, depending on what situation it is.
But when we have somebody tell me that my business partner Josh is a liar, because I think it was it was something about cut, because her house
Top
backed
left,
up to the hill, and she said that we did not cut something, and we didn't because it was wet, and she said it was not wet and that he was lying. It was something along those lines. But anyways, that's how we handle irate customers. So sometimes irate customers, we try to mitigate
Summon
it.
Gary to battle the other irate person.
Yeah. Typically, if Andy can't handle it, he goes, all right, let's unleash the beast.
Yeah. If I can't deal with the angry, hold on, I got an angry guy. Come here.
But learn from my mistakes. Don't always cancel irate customers. Sometimes you do have to tuck tail. I've learned the hard way. We've walked away from some clients because it's taken me to get into my mid-40s to control my temper sometimes.
That's why I get yelled at now.
That's why Andy gets yelled at now. But irate customer. So recently we had an irate customer, and this is the new Gary because we tucked tail. Andy handled it. A lady and her wife just loved to yell at us for being in her garden beds, but she doesn't own her garden beds. The homeowners association owns her garden beds, and they are instructing us to do one thing, and we are MF'd up and down and called insolent and
all kinds
dumb.
of
And so what do? We threatened to call the police and to cancel the contract.
That was a back and forth.
It's a game of telephone.
That was me sternly saying that it was inappropriate, and if she ever came out and spoke to my team that way again, I would be calling the police and the board.
I had already warned them that if they did that again, and then they did it again. So third time, we'll figure it out. But I like the property.
No, it's a beautiful property.
It's nice, and Haley handled it properly.
Well, she's
for the most part
knows and deals with you.
And then disturbing customers. I have to talk about a disturbing customer that we had years ago when we were new in business. The gambling guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With the 1970 satellite dish in the backyard that liked to answer.
I have scars from mowing, and for some reason I couldn't remember that it was there.
This gentleman really liked to open the door, shirt half like misbuttoned in his underwear with piss stains, and super nice guy. Mm-hmm. But he liked to also pay you like this.
Yeah. Drop the mic.
And he paid you with the gambling change from the night before at the casino. Yeah. He was a GM retiree, but we never had to really handle it, I guess, per se.
It was just one of those like, okay, but, please have pants on today. Please have pants on today. Nope.
And folks, some disturbing things, other disturbing things that we've seen on properties are used condoms.
That's happened recently, yeah.
Poopy diapers.
Oh, yep.
Heroin needles.
Yep. I mean, we have other properties that aren't just HOAs where we find strange things. We do take care of retirement communities that have sections of the property that are secured for mental issues. I've had a lady that escaped while I was doing landscaping. Thankfully, I was in an enclosed courtyard. She just saw her opportunity and booked it out there in her Depends and part of a nightgown and in cold weather, just cooking it, running in a circle because she was going. So that she got out the door, and then here comes 3 of the aides and booking it towards getting her back inside.
Encountered some very strange stuff on the Section 8 housing down in Cincinnati we used to do.
Cleaning out houses. Yeah, you find some interesting things.
Remember when we had a team member look over and go, "Wow, that girl's really hot."
Gary, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And we looked over at him. I was like, "You realize?" And he goes, "Oh no." I was like, "Yeah." And we'll leave that for the imagination. But anyways,
he was a young man, and anything
anything
that walked by, he was like, ooh.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. It was, it was a man making himself still look like a man dressed in women's clothing and.
Hey, you know,
Hey,
have that.
whatever
floats your boat.
Whatever works. We love everyone at Brunner's. So, folks, when we go to all these different properties, our team sees all kinds of weird stuff. So if any of those weird things are you, please pick up your used condoms.
Please don't throw diapers in the bushes.
And don't throw your TVs in the tree lines and couches. What was it? One of our property managers last year, two of our property managers from different companies had hobos that lived.
Oh, they had
in the tree line. They had everything.
Power. They were stealing power from one of the buildings.
Televisions. Super cool. Didn't they? I think they had like lots of weed. Too.
Yeah. Once the police were called,
lots of illegally owned marijuana,
and a lot of things that were stolen from the neighborhood. They had their own little Lost Boys camp going on back there.
Lost Boys, great movie. Time to move on. That, folks, is the end of your customer service.
We're near the end.
We're near the end. So let's get back to culture. Right?
Okay.
Culture.
Personal
and professional growth is a huge reason why you should have a good culture at your company.
Yeah, we had a team member that left because the grass is always greener on the other side, and he left for a week and then called and asked if he could come back. I told him he just cheated on us for a week because he didn't even take his work boots with him.
Yeah, right.
And then he actually just recently bought his first house. So
how cool is that?
Yep.
And he started as Josh calls it, a push mower bitch. He started right out of high school.
Yep. Got married, bought his house. House.
I've known him since he was a little
tall
boy. But I tell you what, it's really cool watching him grow, and the fact that he wants to work at our company.
Right.
We think that it's important, and we've given him responsibility. We've allowed, since he's come back, and this is a byproduct of our culture, we've given him the ability to move up, to take hold and ownership of things.
And he's not the first one that's left for over a year even and then come back. We have a number of people.
We have 3 people on our team right now, Rob, Jake, and Mitch, that have left and came back, and came back better.
And Ryan.
Yeah, that's right.
Ryan left and told you to pound salt.
He did.
That was a fun day.
That was
back in Angry Gary days.
The Angry Gary days.
Back in the day.
That was before we had culture that developed personal growth and professional growth. One good thing about the culture at our company is we're really stressing retirement.
Yeah.
So personal growth is really important, and if you
planning for the future.
Yeah, people don't realize how quickly that builds up. At our company, we match 3%. If you own a company and you're struggling for retaining your team, maybe you should look at your culture and start focusing a little bit around growing your team personally and professionally. If a team member's having personal problems, don't do like I do and get pissed off and figure out how the work's going to get done. Do like Josh and Andy do and say, maybe we should cater a little bit and help him get through it.
Everybody's human. Everybody has things that come up unexpectedly, like your water heater exploding, like mine did.
You're right. I'm being hard on myself. My first thought tends to be a hard ass, but then I tend to chill out when I stop and smell the roses.
We are out of time, sir.
No, we're not. I'm going to pay for more.
More quarters.
We'll finish it up. You need to get out of your team's way. I'll move on to the next section after that. We need to get out of your team's way. And if you're an older leader like I am, you too need to grow, because I've had to grow. And it's important that we grow with the times of every generation does things a little different.
Right.
So you have to be open-minded and you have to grow with that. That went nowhere.
You hit me with
that. Went nowhere. All right, so we'll finish up with my last topic with culture, and that's the feedback loop. The feedback loop is the communication that goes forward and backwards. Every company with good culture has a good feedback loop. They have good communication, and that is where we fail sometimes at our company right now. We have 5 people on our administration board, and all 5 of us end up going in different directions sometimes. And we talk to each other without talking to each other, without talking to each other, while talking to each other.
And then our guys end up going, who should I listen to?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter the good, the bad, the ugly. You have to have feedback, and it has to go back and forth. You have to have quarterly evaluations for your team. I think that's why we have such good retention right now.
Right.
Have you had a chance to look at any of the evaluations that we've done?
No, not entirely. I've seen some of them more on the landscaping side of things.
Some are better than others, but none of them are bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's always something you can an area you can improve on.
Yeah. Once we started making wages and everything tied to the evaluations and the training, I'm noticing our team's getting better. We're having some issues on like documentation of stuff, like on the element, like you found when I said, Tyler's running way over time on this property. He's not. They're documenting different tasks.
And that was more or less making sure things were documented, and both Tyler and Matt trying to document the times, but they both did it, which makes the computer go, huh?
Yeah, and it screws me up. It screws me up. But you have to allow, as an owner, and if you're a growing company, I'm going to leave you with this. You have to allow your team to run independently of you. You do not have to micromanage. Maybe as you're training?
It all depends on the situation. If once you have a good core group of guys like we do that are your leaders in the field, they're the trickle down from their education and where the things they've learned is going to trickle down to their new guys. And if they feel a sense of, responsibility and want to do the job and do it well, then they kind of start to watch them, and then they see, and it goes round and round there. So
one thing I notice is, and this is 100% my fault, you're trying to teach Matt, and you teach him like I taught you. You micromanage a little bit until they can do it themselves, and then I jump in and start micromanaging too. So Matt starts becoming micromanaged by 2 different leaders.
Right.
And what was a couple weeks ago, you looked at me like, dude, get the freak out of my way. And I look at you like, don't smirk at me, and it's not funny. Like, no, it's not funny. Get the hell out of my way. Leave me alone.
I was mad. It's okay.
We get mad. Me and Andy get mad at each other.
It happens.
So, but the feedback loop, that's very important for a good culture. You got to have feedback, forward,
your
backward,
team. Yeah.
communication. Let them fail. Let them have accountability. Let them run with it.
Yeah. If you micromanage them too much, they start to feel like they're being belittled or not listened to, or feel like they're being treated like they're stupid and they don't know what they're doing. Especially after they feel like they've gotten to that point where they've passed all the tests and they're there, and then you come back and
And money doesn't solve everything. Throwing pay raises at people because they're unhappy about something doesn't solve a problem. Fix the thing that they're unhappy about. Right. That's what solves the problem. I'm not saying
everybody likes money.
Everybody likes money, but money is not the driving factor of a culture. Money is not the driving factor. Money is part of the culture. Mm-hmm. Paying your team and not screwing them over, things like that, taking care of them, that's part of a good culture. But overall, I have found people have stayed with us because of our culture, not because of our pay. They went for higher pay, and that doesn't always pay off. And then they say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Okay. Johnny Paycheck. All right, everyone. That's going to conclude this. We talked about culture. Culture's important. You'll have another video, I'm sure, sometime about culture. That's how important it is, because at Brunner's, our culture is everything. If you need a new landscaping vendor, you can give us a ring, 937-681-4859. You can visit our website at www.brunnersltd.com, or you can leave a comment below. At Brunner's Lawn and Services, what matters, Andy?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction really matters.
Sorry.
All right. Peace out, everyone. Have a good day.